How's it going there, folks? Welcome to what is sure to be another fun abridged at-home table read tonight. We are tackling the beginning of Mission Impossible. We are doing the first 3 movies in the 7 movies, I think, that exist now of it. So I'm really excited for this one. This is going to be ridiculous. I can't wait to see what we do with this one. So let's jump right into introducing ourselves.
Hello, I'm George, and I'll be doing the action description.
I'm Logan. I'm going to be Tom Cruise.
Hi, I'm Anne, and I'm going to be Thandie Newton.
Hi, I'm Travis, and I'm playing Henry Czerny.
I'm Angi, and I'm Emmanuelle Beart.
All right. Well, George, take us away.
All right. This is the first Mission Impossible trilogy, Abridged. Written by Craig for MI1 and Rod for MI2 and 3. Fade in. Interior plane. John Voight, having already flipped his coin and determined that this will not be one of his batshit crazy performances, is sitting on a plane when he is approached by the flight attendant.
Can I get you anything? Drink, pillow, highly classified spy briefing that you watch here on this regular plane so that any random schmuck walking up in the aisle could get a glimpse of the names and faces of top secret operatives?
Fine. But next time, maybe instead of spending a few hours editing together a whole video presentation and then sneaking it aboard a plane via a specially planted flight attendant, IMF could just send a guy to talk to me for 2 minutes in the airport parking garage. Just saying, these are taxpayers' dollars here.
John puts on the tape.
Greetings, John. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. Hey, am I the only one who always found that should you choose to accept it bit weird? Can government agents straight up tell their superiors, nope, not doing that. Get me a mission with submarines. I'm a submarine-y mood. Well, anyway, a corrupt agent called Marcel Lurs is planning to sell the NOC list, a consolidated list of the names of every single American secret agent in the field. Which, why the hell do we even have such a thing? He's gotten the half of the list with the agents' code names, but it's useless without the matching list of real names. Mostly because if these movies are anything to go by, nobody in this universe has actually used a code name ever under any circumstances. Your team will consist of Tom Cruise, your disturbingly young and hot wife, Emmanuelle Beart, who's awesome, Kristen Scott, not famous yet, Thomas Emilio, that's French, not famous anymore.
Emilio,
not famous anymore, Estevez, oh yes, and Ingeborga, Dapkunaite? Yeah, which I've spell checked 6 times and it still looks wrong, even by the way I say it. Only Tom is in any of the other movies, so anyone watching this movie out of order just got a massive fucking spoiler. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
I love Emilio Estevez. How dare they? The tape just sort of quietly combusts to the disappointment of Inspector Gadget fans everywhere. Interior Prague hotel room. John is going over the plan with Tom, Emmanuelle, Kristen, Emilio, and Ingeborga.
That's it. We just have to film Marcel swiping the file, tail him to the buyer, then arrest them both. Pretty straightforward. Straightforward enough that maybe calling in the Impossible Mission Force was a touch of overkill, but the piss-easy Mission Force was pissy.
Excuse me, it says here that the super sensitive, ultra mega classified CIA file is being stored on an ordinary desktop PC in the basement of some Czech mansion. I was just wondering, what the random fuck?
Yeah, did the CIA put it there? If so, how come we need an elaborate plan full of hacking and disguises just to get a camera in that room? Wouldn't a bit of interdepartmental cooperation have made more sense?
Or if it wasn't there by CIA, who? Bad guys? Was the file already stolen and now it's being double stolen? Seriously, This almost seems like a completely half-assed fake mission intended to fool us into. Please don't finish that thought, Tom. You'll be going in disguised as a U.S. Senator.
How could it possibly help our covert op for me to go in as a celebrity and make myself as noticeable as possible?
I don't know, but the guy happens to already look like you're wearing 10 pounds of horrible latex, so it seemed like too neat an opportunity to pass up. All right, Emilio, do the Q briefing.
All right. See this chewing gum? If you come across a lock you can't pick, just mash it together and it explodes.
What? We've already planned out the entirety of this simple operation. There is no conceivable reason we'd ever need to pick a lock, let alone blow one open.
Well, maybe you might find some other uses for it at some other important plot moments, if you catch my drift.
Ah, got it. Chekhov's gum.
Interior mansion. Tom enters the party disguised as the corpse of a wax dummy.
I've been establishing myself here for the past week. So the idea is that I'm giving you a tour. A tour which includes, naturally, the complete restricted secret basement protected by fingerprint scanners and armed guards.
I'm guessing Emilio hacked in and forged fingerprint access to the elevator for you at some point during the entire week.
That would have been the smart thing to do, but to create some extra tension, he's instead sitting on top of the elevator, frantically trying to do it right now. And for even more fake tension, let's not wait for him to let us know he's finished. Instead, head over and try and get into the elevator while it's only halfway hacked.
They go to the elevator, which finally gives them access after a suspiciously long time. Then they head and place a hidden camera in the basement. But then Marcel calls the elevator while they're still down there.
Shit, even though me bringing you down here as a part of your tour is in fact what we're openly claiming has happened, we can't let Marcel see us down here for some reason. Hold on. I'll open the elevator doors and you can hide underneath the elevator when Marcel comes down.
Wait, you've remotely hacked the elevator from our hotel room? What the fuck am I even here for then?
An even bigger question is if Emilio was able to just sneak into the elevator shaft and John can open the elevator doors from the basement, wouldn't that have been a much simpler way of breaking into the basement in the first place? This entire plan is so needlessly convoluted.
They film Marcel stealing the file and prepare to tail him to his buyer. But then everything starts to go completely to shit.
Hey, my elevator is moving up by itself. It's gonna smush me against the ceiling. I better drop to the service hatch into the elevator.
No hatch.
Shit. All right. Okay, it's fine. Just a few minutes. I was able to avoid the descending elevator by pressing myself into a hollow against the wall.
You've forgotten you can do that, I guess.
Damn it.
Crushed.
We're compromised. I've fled the hotel and now I'm being chased by somebody. Not that the camera will even show my alleged pursuer from behind in a shadow, nor can you hear footsteps. Everybody just take my word for it. Mission abort. Cease radio communication. Ah, Tom, did you get that? Did you see the footage I just transmitted of a gun firing at me? It's important that you see that so you better not have ceased radio communication for some crazy reason.
Yeah, I saw it. Even in that 2 seconds of footage, it looked exactly like you were pointing the gun at yourself. Are we all just going to pretend we didn't notice that?
If you don't mind.
Falls into river.
I'm tailing Marcel, and he just got stabbed by somebody through a wrong iron gate. Fortunately, this stabby guy can't reach me unless I walk right into the gate myself. Say, there's an idea.
Stabbed. Well, if they're onto us and they're trying to wipe us out, surely I can trust our car to be 100% safe. Blown up. And just assume for the moment that Emmanuelle was in here with me, even though we never gave you any reason to think that was the case.
Damn it. Well, when they get around to killing me and I reset the day, I'll just make sure that I warn it up. Shit, wrong movie.
He runs. Interior restaurant / aquarium. Tom arranges a meeting with Henry.
My favorite scene. All right, I'm going to keep this as simple as I can because this is the point of the movie where about 2/3 of the audience starts to completely lose track of what the hell is happening. We've got a leak in IMF. Someone's been selling secrets to a mysterious weapons dealer named Max.
So the only thing we have on this individual is a stereotypical masculine, but actually gender-neutral name. Can't imagine what the big surprise about him will be.
Investigating the mole, we narrowed it down to somebody in John's team. We made up a fake mission with a fake NOC list.
The knock list, yeah.
Not list, my bad. Hoping the mole would try and swipe the list for themselves and sell it to Max, at which point we could arrest them both, and wouldn't you know it, you're the only one of your team still alive.
You've confirmed that, have you? You've got a report of 2 corpses in the exploded car. John's body was retrieved from a placid river.
Okay, so maybe we haven't accounted for the 2 of the bodies, and those 2 happen to be the guy who planned this entire operation and his wife, but screw it. We're still going to just blame it all on you.
I see. In that case, might I suggest that next time you and a bunch of our fellow agents have our key suspect surrounded, you might want to seize him instead of chit-chatting. That way you can make sure he doesn't have a bunch of exploding gum in his pocket.
Oh, I don't suppose it's too late to...
Tom blows up the aquarium and escapes in the ensuing chaos. We're a bunch of innocent fish. We can't breathe. Why'd you do it, Tom? They die.
All right, where to now? The only place I have any resources in this city is our team's hotel room. And since the IMF will surely be searching that place for clues within the hour, I'd have to be a total idiot to go there.
He is a total idiot.
Oh, in that case, I might as well just make up my base of operations for the next several days.
Interior Prague hotel room. Tom starts trying to figure out how to find Max and the mole.
See what leads I can find using this magical new resource known as the World Wide Web. Let's try searching for max.com, which, wow, when moviegoers become wise in the ways of the internet, that's going to look so fucking ridiculous.
Having no luck, Tom falls back on the reliable old movie technique of looking around the room for random inspiration.
Look, a Bible. Say, Henry said an intercepted communique between Max and the mole mentioned something called Job 314. What if that was actually Job 314? Well, I'll just go to the Book of Job chat room and leave a message for Max, and presto! But did our entire intelligence network not figure that out? Seriously, it took me like 3 minutes.
Suddenly, Emmanuelle shows up.
Emmanuelle, you're alive inexplicably. Henry said the mole was somebody on our team, and you're still alive with no explanation. I'll go ahead and not read anything into that.
And now that I'm here, I'll help you find the mole. To begin with, I'll do almost nothing. Then as the situation evolves, I'll continue to do almost nothing.
They get a response from Max, who arranges a meet with Tom. Interior Max's pad. Tom is brought blindfolded to Max's place, where it turns out Max is Vanessa Redgrave.
OMG, it's actually a woman. What a twist! Look, the knock list disc the mole gave you is a fake that undoubtedly will broadcast your location to IMF as soon as you try to use it.
Considering the mole only gets paid if the disc proves genuine, and I'd presumably spill everything I have on him if captured, one has to wonder why the fuck he gave me the thing in the first place.
You want the real knock list? I'll steal it from Langley for you if you tell me who the mole is.
How the hell can I trust you on this? What's to prevent you from giving me a made-up list of fake names?
We're just making the vague and puzzling assertion that you have some way of testing the list for accuracy. Otherwise, there'd be no reason for me not to do exactly that.
Interior train. Tom and Emmanuelle have assembled a team, including hacker Ving Rhames and psycho Jean Reno.
The computer needs to break into we need to break into Langley's in an isolated vault protected by 2 doors with voice recognition and an optical scanner, and key cards and a moat with electric eels and a minotaur, etc., etc.
I assume there's also a convenient ventilation shaft with your standard giant man-sized ductwork.
Oh, indeed. And even after we get into the shaft and bypass the laser grid on the gate, there are 3 layers of security on the vault whenever the operator is out of the room. Highly sensitive pressure plates on the floor, a sound detector, and a temperature monitor, which is never entirely clear how we fool it. Setting any of these off will trigger the alarm.
You know what else would have been a good idea for something that had triggered the alarm? Somebody trying to use the computer? Hell, why even have the computer be usable at all while the room is in lockdown?
Look, this is going to be the one thing people remember from this movie, so we're going to make it happen, logic or no.
Fine. How do we get in there?
Well, have you seen either of Jules Dessin's heist movies?
No.
Great. Let's hope the audience hasn't either.
Interior Langley. Tom and John manage to sneak into the vents.
All right. Deploy the precise mechanized device for refracting the laser grid.
Deployed.
Now activate the complex rig that unscrews the grate from the opposite side somehow and catches the screw with a little screw catching arm.
Where the fuck did we get all this incredibly specific, customized equipment? Do we have an invisible mechanical engineer on our team or something?
They remove the grate, and John lowers Tom into the vault on a rope. Tom starts copying the Nautilus to a disc, but then John is distracted by a rat.
Oh, what the hell? We need fake alarms and fireman costumes and unconscious guards to get into the secure and inaccessible vent. What the hell did this random wildlife wander in?
He kills the rat, but winds up dropping Tom, only catching the rope again when Tom is about 4 nanometers from the pressure plates. As Tom flails wildly, a bead of sweat slides down his glasses, but he manages to catch it before it lands on the floor.
Oh, that was close. That tiny droplet would have set off the pressure sensors, which is weird considering the huge whump of displaced air. My fall wasn't enough to do it.
They finish the file transfer, and John pulls Tom out of the vault. The rope, having slipped off its pulley, makes a very loud scraping sound, which registers as too fucking loud were screwed on Tom's sound meter, but the alarm doesn't go off anyway, because apparently that sound detection alarm was just so much bullshit. Exterior train station. Tom is out making arrangements for the meet with Vanessa when who should greet him but a still alive John.
Holy shit. If John's not dead, then he must be the mole. He faked his own death to frame me, and now he's revealed himself to me so that for the purpose of help me out here.
Hey, don't look at me. I don't think it makes the damnest bit of sense, but hey, at least fans of the TV show can rest easy that we didn't kill off the beloved character, Jim Phelps. After all, we just made him into an evil murdering bastard who is undoubtedly going to be killed off.
Well, I guess now that I know who the mole is, I don't need to give the Nautilus to Vanessa. I just gotta subdue an old man, get him to the authorities, and tell them where the arms dealer will be waiting with me, and hey, presto.
Sure. You could do that, but instead you're going to keep on with the plan so you can get a chance to find out whatever Emmanuelle was in on this the whole time.
What? I just a second ago figured out that Jean must have been the guy that stabbed Kristen, and Emmanuelle was the one who brought Jean to the heist team, for fuck's sake. Unless that's all a gigantic coincidence, obviously she's evil too.
Yeah, but you still need solid proof because apparently you have a boner for her emaciated, badly acted ass.
So I'll risk handing the identities of all our agents to an evil arms dealer on the off chance I get to bang my mentor's wife? Some hero I am.
Interior train. Tom hands Vanessa the Nautilus to board a moving bullet train.
Why the hell did I ever agree to this meet? My whole thing has been extreme caution, where I carefully control when and where anybody gets to see me. Now suddenly, I agree to somebody else's demands, and I sit in the specific seat at a specific time inside an inescapable metal tube. Ugh, whatever. Your payment's in the baggage car. I'm sure John will be there directly to rob and kill you.
Well then, good thing I have my trusty lack of any kind of weapon.
Interior baggage car. Emmanuelle comes into the baggage car to talk to John, who is sitting and staring wordlessly at her.
Hey, John, who I've known all along is alive. Do we really need to go through this with our current plan of murdering Tom? I still prefer our earlier plan of just framing him. I was totally complicit in that plan, as you know.
Suddenly, John pulls off his mask, revealing it's actually Tom.
At what point were you able to craft an elaborate John Voight mask without me noticing?
Then the real John shows up, pointing his gun at Tom.
Nice try, but I'm secretly broadcasting footage of this to Henry. Now he knows you're alive, so no doubt he and his men are going to storm the baggage car any second now, and I'll have won. Yeah, any second now. What the fuck, Henry?
What? You thought this was going to be straight espionage thriller without a single action scene whatsoever? This is a summer blockbuster. We've got to have at least one loud, stupid pile of special effects and explosions.
Fine. To make this interesting, let's have a competition to see who can lobotomize this movie the most.
You're on.
Movie IQ, Robert Ludlum.
For starters, I'll shoot Emmanuelle, but not you. Then climb up to the roof to try and make an insane train-to-helicopter transfer and escape.
Movie IQ, mediocre episode of Burn Notice.
That's small potatoes. I'm gonna tie that helicopter to the train, forcing Jean to pilot the chopper inside a fucking tunnel while being towed by a bullet train at 160 miles an hour.
Movie IQ, Transporter sequel.
I can one-up that by continuing to maintain control of the helicopter while a second train goes past in the opposite direction, boxing me in even further and causing God knows how much wind turbulence.
Movie IQ, Steven Seagal vehicle.
Oh, you want to play? Let's play.
He jumps from the train to the helicopter, mashes some exploding gum on the helicopter's windshield, jumps back off the helicopter, and then the fireball propels him safely back onto the speeding train. Movie IQ, Mission Impossible 2.
Woo, movie's so dumb, now we forget how word use.
Exterior cafe. After Vanessa has been arrested and Tom has been exonerated, he and Ving share a celebratory coffee. As the only other person from either of the spy teams from this movie who is still alive, I'd just like to say congratulations. Also, keep the hell away from me, you fucking jinx. And he flees.
Wait, we're done? Awesome. We got all the way through an abridged script of one of my moves without making any jokes about you know what. See you around, folks.
Say, Tom,
Uh-oh.
I know you said you weren't coming back to IMF, but we've decided to go ahead and drop a new mission briefing in your lap without even consulting you. Because why wouldn't we give classified intel to a bitter and dangerous former employee?
Don't you fucking dare, man. It was over. I was free.
Now, it might seem psychotic for our organization to just plan not let it members leave even after we've completely abused and maltreated them.
The end. Fade to black.
But hey, at least IMF isn't as difficult to get away from as the Church of...
Fuck you.
And fade in, exterior, random cliffs.
Look, I'm climbing this mountain. I'm doing my own stunts. This is incredibly dangerous.
Wow, he's doing his own stunts? That must mean he's actually hanging on that cliff with no means of protection. When an actor does his own stunts, he always goes above and beyond what a regular stuntman would do.
Tom gets some sunglasses. He puts them on. Why the hell am I in this? Tom, I need you to carry the whole movie. But just to make it look like this movie is making some attempt to live up to the shitty standards set by the first film, we'll pretend for a moment that you actually should assemble a team. First, pick Ving Rhames to provide some kind of flow from the first movie to this rejected Bond script. Then pick a random guy with a funny accent. Lastly, get this chick to whore herself off.
Cool. I'll sleep with her first.
Tom Cruise begins an extraneous love story by fucking Thandie Newton in slow motion.
Can you make me a martini? Shaken, not stirred.
Interior, bad guy hideout.
Have sex with me and I'll give you this Kodak brand digital camera flash card with incriminating photos. Kodak, take pictures further.
I have tits.
Yes, you do. Please have my bad guy secrets.
Dougary leaves, Tom Cruise enters.
Hey, you're doing quite well at the whole betraying Dougary Scott thing. Continue doing what he wants. You're basically a prostitute now. Look, if Dougary wants to do anal, you be like, okay. And don't ask me why I'm saying this.
Okay, Tom, anything for you, my real lover?
She leaves. Tom's face is removed to reveal Dougary Scott.
Good thing I kept this mask. Now it's time to sell this virus that I stole.
Yeah, the virus. Sell it. Sell it in slow motion. Sell it to a flock of doves.
No, John Woo was British. Maybe he is. I don't know. Interior, super secret lab thinger. Tom breaks into the lab in a similar way to the computer scene in the first movie. But this isn't as original or interesting or suspenseful or good.
Look, I'll do my own stunts.
Dougary enters. A large fight ensues in slow motion. 12 doves are killed. Various guards are destroyed. Dougary takes off his mask to reveal Tom Cruise. Tom takes off his mask to reveal Dougary. Thandie takes off her mask to reveal Tom Cruise. The other Tom Cruise takes off his mask to reveal Thandie Newton's pet terrier. John Woo takes off his mask to reveal Tom Cruise.
See? I'm in total control of this movie. Ah!
The other Tom Cruise takes off his mask to reveal Thandie Newton. The henchman is killed, but he looks like Tom Cruise. Hence, Tom cleverly put the henchman into a Tom mask to kill him.
Why the fuck was I carrying a mask of myself? And for that matter, why does everyone have like 100 spare masks? Where do we keep all of them?
Tom hops on a motorcycle and a chase ensues.
Must get the antidote for this virus thing into Thandie Newton or she'll die in exactly 20 hours. On the mark.
The chase ends.
You're so dead.
They beat the crap out of each other for a while until Tom wins.
I am beaten.
Oh, hurry, Tom. It's been 18 hours and 35 minutes. Time is running out. Give me the antidote.
Tom leaves Dougary alive and gets the antidote from the fragile glass tube that he left in his jacket, which he threw on the ground where he was fighting, and starts to bring it to her.
Now I have a gun.
Tom, lucky as hell, picks up a gun in front of him and shoots Dougary repeatedly.
Oh my God, you just wasted a minute shooting him. Come on, time's running out.
Tom runs to her and gives her the antidote in the nick of time, give or take an hour. They walk off together in a park, an appropriate end for an action spy movie. End. Note, because Tom Cruise is a giant diaper-wearing baby, the editing room has decided to take some precautions. All cracks at the expense of Tom or his personal life have been replaced with lines promoting Scientology. We apologize for any confusion this may cause. Fade in, interior secret hideout. Tom Cruise is tied up. Phillip Seymour Hoffman points a gun at his wife, Michelle Monaghan.
Ah.
It's so endearing how in love with me you are. Yeah, no.
To your wife, you don't tell me where the MacGuffin is.
Listen, what I'm trying to explain is that Scientology is completely legitimate.
You're in the middle of a mostly pointless opening scene. That's where the only reason it's here is to try and establish my bastardness early, since I'm the least threatening person here, ever.
Many normal people that are Scientologists, not just celebrities, okay?
What's that? You only tell me where the MacGuffin is if you don't have to listen to the Limp Bizkit's Mission Impossible theme during the credits. Deal?
Scientology allows us to understand what causes illness and gives us effective tools for dealing with those illnesses. Nobody dies from Scientology, aside from the few that do.
Interior is some house. Tom Cruise is in scene after scene showing his puppy dog love for Michelle Monaghan.
It's so endearing how in love with me you are, Tom. And by endearing, I mean creepy.
L. Ron Hubbard was a brilliant man, and his writings provided us with a great insight into humanity. There's nothing fishy about science fiction writer founding a religion based on aliens.
Suddenly, Tom gets a phone call.
Tom, Billy Crudup here. Agent Carrie Russell has been kidnapped. Normally we'd disavow all knowledge, but then there wouldn't be much of a movie. So we need you to rescue her, and we don't suspect me, or please don't suspect me of being the bad guy, even though I'm kind of shady.
Tom joins back up with Ving, Rhames, and two random agents with no personality. Hey, come on.
My God, I'm basically totally interchangeable with other agents.
In fact, we actually switch roles later on since it doesn't matter. Do we even have names?
Don't take it personally. The only characters with any depth got that way from being in the other two movies. They rescue Carrie Russell in a big explodey sequence.
Tom, thank you for rescuing me. Unfortunately, I have an explosive device in my career, and thank you for including me in this movie before I vanish entirely.
She dies. Suddenly there's another big action sequence. It's loud and therefore good. Interior IMF headquarters. Lawrence Fishburne is bitching everyone out.
You all fucked up royally. Now Phillip knows how worthless IMF is. All he really has to do is watch the other two movies to know that.
Scientology may have been created by a science fiction writer, but that doesn't mean the ideas aren't grounded in observable facts. Just take a look at my e-meter. It's a meter, and that's science.
It's almost been 2 minutes since the last action sequence. Let's spend a couple more minutes on Tom's bland romance and then blow some shit up. They do. The gang travels on a mission to infiltrate the Vatican and kidnap Phillip Seymour Hoffman. Interior Vatican. Tom breaks into the Vatican. He accomplishes this by relying primarily on the stupidity of the security guards and the fact that nobody ever seems to look up. They create a mask because the franchise just will not let that idea die. If we can just create masks like this, why do we even bother with missions? Can't we just waltz in as someone else, take what we want, and leave? Suddenly there are some explosions. Phillip is kidnapped. Then there's a chase. Then more explosions. Then a shootout on a bridge. Some more explosions. Phillip escapes, rendering the prior 30 minutes meaningless. Wait a minute. This whole time, J.J. Abrams has been able to direct this much action? Why the fuck is Lost so boring?
Psychology is an industry built upon keeping people sick so that there is a steady stream of income. Scientology, on the other hand, is built on helping people by taking all of their money up front.
Find the MacGuffin or I will kill your wife.
This results in another big action sequence, followed by a huge car chase.
Yeah, I'm taking you into custody, Tom. I'm outfitting you with a mouth covering because apparently you're a cannibal, I guess.
Tom escapes. Eventually, Tom winds up tied up like at the start of the movie. Phillip kills Michelle Monaghan.
Scientology is reasonable and logical.
So, hey, Tom, taking a page from the 24 handbook, it turns out that I'm a bad guy. And Phillip didn't actually kill your woman. It was staged so that we would know if it was the MacGuffin was the, real thing.
Battlefield Earth was a great book and an even better film.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a silly plan too. Anyway, we've just decided to let your wife live to make sure that Carrie didn't tell you I was the bad guy, did she?
Because psychological drugs can be abused. The only logical conclusion is that the drugs themselves are bad.
Oh, yes, I suppose you could just lie. I guess, this portion of the plan is stupid.
Tom Cruise attacks Billy without killing him, then runs like an idiot to find Michelle. He does. Phillip?
Not over yet. You and I need to fight.
It's the ultimate grudge match. Trained special agents versus fat guy. Who will win?
They fight. Tom gets beat up for a while, but then kicks Phillip's ass because of the power of love.
I'm so surprised I lose.
He dies. Tom takes his wife back to IMF headquarters, which is apparently all right, even though it's a top secret organization that doesn't officially exist. Everyone jokes around like they know each other.
You did such a great job rescuing your own wife on a personal mission that had nothing to do with IMF. I'm going to ignore the fact you may have killed a bunch of guards during your escape.
The idea of Lord Xenu is not as ridiculous and laughable as it seems, even less so after you spent millions of dollars to learn about it.
I just want to know one thing. What the hell was the thing Tom was chasing after for the entire movie?
Oh, you're being glib.
End.
That was the first 3 Mission Impossible movies with I think per capita about the right amount of Scientology jokes. Thank you all so much for watching with this one. We will be jumping in with the rest of the Mission Impossible movies in a few weeks. So thank you for watching and have a great night.